quickly do like this. Ah, that hurt.
Good afternoon, welcome. My name is Janice and I am doing life in my 30s as a homemaker and a mom. It's funny how I came to want to start doing this kind of series or vlog style, I guess, is because I was talking with my sister. If you guys don't know, my sister is Shanice. She's over on Our Point of View. But I was talking to her and I was just saying how in this homemaker space, in this motherhood space, in content creating space, like you come across so many people in their 20s, right? There's just, excuse Ezzy back there. There's just a bunch of people in their 20s having babies, living their best life. And as someone in their 30s, sometimes you start feeling like this certain lifestyle or certain things are like no longer for your age group, if that makes sense. I don't know. It's just I've recently been feeling like I want to find other creators that are closer to my age, that are doing the same things I'm doing, that are still having babies, that are still enjoying marriage, that still have young kids, that are still trying to figure out their lives and still have goals and things they're trying to reach, and you know, that has more of a normal life, that isn't, or who hasn't made it yet, I guess you can say. And I was browsing this morning, right? This morning I got up pretty early. I was up at 5, but I still kind of just laid in bed, and I decided that today was the day. Since I was up early, everyone was asleep. I put my AirPods in and I was like, I want to find some new creators, some new lifestyle like vloggers in their 30s that I can, you know, feel like encouraged by. Because right now, if I'm honest, sometimes I feel discouraged by the young 20s and having kids, and as someone who's also still trying to have more kids and feeling like my time is running out, and all these negative thoughts that can kind of take over when you start getting older and you're feeling old and you still like miss kind of that young spirited, like the future is your, you know, yours for the taking. And like, I don't know, I feel like that light kind of starts diminishing as you get older, sadly. And I feel like I want to keep that spark going. I want to still feel, I don't want to feel like there's things that are outside of my age group or that I no longer should be doing, or I don't know, striving for, I guess. And I just wanted to start sharing my life in my 30s as a mom, as a homemaker, as a wife. But yeah, I don't want to feel like I am, you know, no longer able to dream and no longer able to want for certain things because I'm in my 30s now and 40s are coming, and like kind of like this saddening, depressing life, you know? When you only see people in their 20s kind of doing all these things that you still want to do, it can start feeling discouraging. And I just want to encourage people. I want to be, I guess, a platform that is encouraging us women in our 30s to still dream, to still want, to still feel like our best life is ahead of us. And I couldn't find anybody. I couldn't find anybody in any sort of same lifestyle. Like, everyone in their 30s are either like single and boss babes and living alone diaries and I don't want a man or kids, or there's the in my 30s I don't have it figured out, I'm lost in my 30s, I'm 30 and living at home. So it was like very extreme sides of the spectrum living in your 30s, and there was like nobody that I could find that was like a mom, a wife, a homemaker in my 30s, still wishing and hoping for things. So I thought instead of just harping on the fact that I couldn't find anybody to like pull inspiration from or be encouraged by, I figured I could kind of just try to be in that space and encourage you guys. If there's any of you guys that are in your 30s, obviously if there's some of you who are older, if there's some of you who are younger, I feel like this is still a space for you. But I just want for us women in our 30s to not feel alone, to not feel like we're in this weird stage of life where we're not old but we're not young, and we're trying to figure out like kind of where we stand and what's appropriate. And I've always been like young spirited. I feel like I've always had a personality and a humor and a aura of someone younger. I actually used to despise that about myself. I felt like people thought I was immature, and you know, as I'm the oldest of three girls, and kind of I always felt like my younger sisters were more mature than me and like kind of had a more mature presence, and people used to think that I was like one of the younger sisters, and it used to bother me to my core because it, like I said, I took it as like, oh, they think I'm immature, or you know, I'm doing something wrong because people don't think that I'm the age I am or whatever. But now getting older, I'm actually appreciative of the fact that I still have this kind of young presence, I guess. But even within that, I feel like there's so much that has changed with growth, like slowing down, just enjoying more introverted activities, hobbies, allowing myself to rest, not needing to be outside all the time and out and about and doing the most, but just like enjoying the simplicity of life. I think that is what has kind of grown in me and matured in me. But I still feel like I'm gonna be the jokester. I'm going to be hyper when I'm in a group of people, and I'm just gonna embrace that. And so I'm gonna share life in my 30s as a mom, a homemaker, and a wife. And I hope you guys stick around. Subscribe down below if you have never been on my channel before, or if you have and you haven't subscribed yet. And let's just dream a little bit. You know, it's 2025, and I feel like this is the perfect time to just start fresh, like to start having a different perspective of life, of yourself, of what you can accomplish, of what you want to accomplish, and being okay with like who you are and not feeling like there's a mold that you have to fit based off of your age, your race, your faith, your, you know, whatever. Like, I feel like God created us all unique and wonderful, and I just feel like we need to embrace that sometimes. I mean, we're not all supposed to be robotically the same and do the same things, and I feel like I'm barely starting to just learn that and to like grow in the confidence of like, this is me, you know? Take it or leave it. But cheers! Welcome to the vlog. Okay, how about we clean up?
Huh?
Right
My
now.
room does not have enough space.
Maybe does not have enough space.
It doesn't.
It doesn't.
All day. It's not even midnight yet. And I'm good at soccer, guys. So let's play.
That's not even a soccer ball, silly. You clean up your mess.
Everybody clean up. Okay, let's get to it. Here. Little bananas. Ah! My banana bite just broke. I forgot how to put apron on. I'm going to peel the last banana because I don't have much experience on peeling bananas. Mash. Wait, we could have used a potato masher. That looks good. Oh, it made like a little heart bubble. That was cool.
1 teaspoon of each.
Okay, that's enough. I like the sound of this.
Why don't you like the sound of it?
Because it's clumpy and partying.
I really like these chocolate chips. They're organic, fair trade, and oh, they're all upside down. Wow. Can you see? Can you see? They're organic and fair trade, and I go for these when I want to make like chocolate chip cookies, like when I want chocolate chip cookies, when I really want chocolate chip cookies, because I have the Hue chocolate and it's made with like coconut sugar and it's a healthy alternative, and we like that one as well. But I like to use that for, usually I would use that for something like this, like banana bread, any kind of like healthy treats I'm making for a snack for Ezzy or anything like that. But when I'm making like chocolate chip cookies and I want like chocolate chip cookies, I use these because they're still good. They're 55% cacao. They're organic, like I said, and then the ingredients are just organic. There's sugar in it. That's why I usually wouldn't use this for everything, but like I said, when I want a real chocolate chip cookie, we're gonna go with the sugar. It has organic cane sugar, organic chocolate liqueur, and then organic cocoa butter, and that's it. So it's like still a very clean, good quality chocolate chip, and still has like a really good regular like chocolate taste. It doesn't taste too bitter or anything like that. Of course. Really good.
Another one.
Really expensive. I'm not even gonna lie. I think this bag is like $11.
Mom, these are better
So
than the other
we
ones.
try to make it stretch.
These are better than the other ones. The other ones just take like dark chocolate.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was saying.
Those are sweeter.
See? Told ya. Shawty, come get me a little. I promise that I'll stay, but that's a risk you'll take. Baby, calm down, calm down. Pull it lockdown, pull it lockdown, pull it lockdown. Girl, you're sweet like butter. No, tell me no, 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 no. Shawty, come give me a look. Today's Friday, and it's been a weird Friday. I feel like this feels very Monday to me, but I'm just trying to take care of some things. Yesterday I took it kind of easy because I've been feeling a little bit tired, and today I just wanted to do a few things to feel like I'm getting back in the groove of life. The banana bread is in the oven, and I know Ezzy's looking forward to that, and she is actually downstairs vlogging. So funny enough, we're thinking about starting her own channel, only because she's always loved the camera, right? I've been on YouTube and doing something social media related since she was born. So she is very familiar with just cameras and the lingo and all the things, and she's always been very interested. She's always had her iPad. She'll record herself doing routines, and she like imitates me. She'll get her kitchen and her like little cleaning toys she has, and she acts like she's cleaning, and it's really cute and it's very funny. And my gosh, she also really enjoys watching other kid YouTubers. And so, but yesterday, for the first time ever, she came upstairs with a very shy demeanor, and she was like, Mom. I was like, yes. And she says, can I start my own channel? And I was like, I'll think about it. You know, I was like, I'll talk to Dad and we'll see. She's, like I said, she's always shown an interest in the camera, but she's never flat out came and like asked if she can have her own channel. And I don't know, I was just like, oh. And so I really started thinking about it, and I was like, you know what, why not? Like, I will obviously be watching over it and all that good stuff, and I want to just talk to her just about the internet. I, on the other hand, finally got that laundry hanging because yesterday I left it. I completely forgot that I ran it in the morning. I remembered at sometime in the afternoon, but then got distracted, and it sat in the wash all night. And this morning I was like, oh my gosh. These clothes are still in here, so I had to rewash them, of course, because I didn't even want to open it to even attempt to smell it. I just ended up doing a quick wash with vinegar. And yeah, so now that stuff's hanging. Me and Ezzy are probably going to do a Bible study, because we haven't done our Bible study today yet.
But anyways, like, what inspires you? It's kind of funny.
Am I interrupting your personal vlogging time? You ready to get going on starting your channel and getting it signed up? Did you come up with your name?
Yes.
Okay. Then God remembered Noah and every living thing and all the animals that were with him in the ark. And God made a wind to pass over the earth, and the waters subsided. The fountains of the deep and the windows of heaven were also stopped, and the rain from heaven was restrained. And the waters receded continually from the earth. At the end of the 150 days, the waters decreased. Good evening. It is 5:20, and I'm just watching YouTube. And it feels so good to say that I'm sitting here watching YouTube. I feel like I just have not taken time to sit down, to relax. I like watched YouTube a little bit early this morning, but that was over quickly as everyone woke up this morning. Oh, and I have to check in and say that banana bread was so delicious. It was so good. And we had it like right out of the oven, so it was nice and hot, and I truly enjoyed it, and it's gonna be really good with some coffee in the morning. I will leave the recipe down below. But yeah, it was really good. But I have recipes, a few of them, because I have a paleo one, I have a whole wheat one, like, so I have a couple of recipes for banana bread. I just wasn't in the mood for those, and so I ended up going on Pinterest and I found one, and I just made a couple little tweaks just because we always try to make, you know, everything a bit healthier, and it just turned out so good. So I'll leave the original recipe down below, and then I'll leave kind of like my twist on that recipe down as well if you guys want to switch out a few things. I want to end out this vlog. I know this was a quick one, but I wanted it to be like a day quick vlog just because I wanted to get it up this week. And like, honestly, I wanted to get it up between today or tomorrow, so I just wanted it to be something quick and like a day vlog, which I haven't done in quite some time. All my vlogs, even before I came back, had all been like weekly vlogs, so it feels weird to try to film all things in one day. But I just wanted to share what I read in my devotional because I just felt like it spoke to me personally, and I know that you know, I can't be the only one who's done the same kind of thing, but I'm really digging in. As you guys, if you've been here for the last couple of vlogs, I've been talking about how 2025 is my year of self-confidence, getting rid of self-doubt, trusting God and his plan and what he wants to do through me, and not allowing my lack of confidence and self-worth to prohibit him from using me and from blocking blessings and all that kind of stuff. And so I was reading, I'm doing a devotional in the Bible app that is specifically about self-doubt and like the silent period when you're kind of waiting for answers from God from things you desire or whatever the case may be. And it was just talking about being still. And I've read this and I've talked about this before, and I've been through these seasons where I believe I'm being still, or I try to be still for a certain amount of time. But I am a very like proactive person, or a why person. Like, I always need to know why. I need to try to figure out like if I'm doing something wrong. And it was saying how oftentimes when we're waiting on something, a desire, whether that's career, whether that's financially, whether that's a spouse, whatever, that we tend to like try to figure out why it's not working, why these things aren't coming to us, why we don't have them. And then in turn, we end up asking other people for their advice, asking people for their experiences, asking people what you're doing wrong, what they think you should do, yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. Like that's a normal part of human interaction. We go to friends, family, whoever, and we tend to want to know their thoughts on our lives, right? And their thoughts on what we should be doing differently. And it was just speaking to how that can lead us to be outside of God's will. And I thought that was so powerful because I don't think we often think of it that way. Like, it's great, yes, having feedback and like perspective from other people is great. But I think that when you're in a vulnerable position and you're seeking answers because you're like lost or confused or you don't know what to do, oftentimes we don't just heed and like listen to people's advice or their perspective or their ideas. We tend to jump at them because we're grasping for any answer we can find and any new avenue we can take. And I just thought that was so huge that, yeah, that can take us outside of God's will, because sometimes if we're in the silent period, that's where we're supposed to be. If God is being silent, if things don't seem, to us in our natural eye to be moving in the direction we want it to, or we don't think that God's working behind the scenes on what we want or desire or, our futures or whatever, we can easily start moving when he still just wants us to be still. And we start moving based off of the advice we've gathered from other people, and then we end up outside of God's will. And then if we end up outside of God's will, I was talking about how like we can then have counterfeit blessings. So we can have blessings that look similar to what we've asked for, but it's not really what we asked for. And then we jump at that because it seems like, oh, this is, we're heading in the right direction kind of thing. And ultimately, it's never going to be as good as what God actually has for us. And, scripture says that he can do above and beyond what we can even think or imagine. So it's like, why then do we grab at things that are barely reaching the surface of what we actually desire just because we're desperate or because we feel like we need to be moving somewhere or something needs to be happening? And I don't know. I just thought that was really good. And I know that's me. I know that I am very, very quick to try different things, switch things up. I'm doing something wrong. This didn't work, so I need to try this. This didn't work, so I need to try this. And then when I'm out of ideas of my own, then I start asking people I trust, obviously. And obviously it's always good advice, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's meant for you and that that's where God's directing you. And I do that all the time. I honestly do. Like I whether that's needing it for validation or for answers or to get out of this feeling of being lost or confused. I guess all of this is just me telling you that if you're like me and you've had these experiences and you find yourself just taking the advice of any and everybody because you just feel so lost and you just feel like anything is better than nothing, any answer is better than no answers, just be still. Like, just be still. Quiet your life. And that's what I'm working on this year, is like quieting life, quieting all the information that is constantly being absorbed into my head, whether that's through YouTube or podcasts or Instagram and Reels and TikTok and all these things that are subliminally just feeding like negativity. And sometimes it's positive, but sometimes it's still not for you. Everyone's life is different. What God has for everyone is different. And I feel like we look to other people for what we're supposed to have or what we should have, or, okay, if God told them this and he's telling me that too. Like, just be still, stay in prayer, quiet your surroundings so you can actually hear from God, so that you actually move in the correct direction and not just move based off of what you're hearing or think you came up with this grand idea because you actually really heard it from someone else. And I don't know. I'm just really in this period of just trying to listen to God, and I really want to move in the direction that He's sending me, and I want to stop grabbing at counterfeit blessings because it's not fulfilling and it's never the best that God has for me. And so I relay that to you, even though I'm saying don't take other people's advice. My advice is to stop taking people's advice and to listen to the Lord. Quiet your surroundings so you can hear from Him to know what you should do. Stop letting other people make you believe there's something else you should be doing. Because maybe you're doing exactly what you're supposed to, but you just need to wait. So I'm going to end out now. Thanks for listening. Catch you guys in the next one. Bye.